Uhtred was banished to the forests of the north. During the autumn and winter seasons, the temperature fluctuations in the forest were extreme, causing Uhtred to shiver with cold. Just when he thought he might not survive, several shadowy figures appeared and took him onto a small wooden boat. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself at Olaf's camp. There, he saw 6 other kings, making a total of 7, including himself. It turned out that Aethelstan's conquest had aroused the fear of other kings, and they gathered together to form an alliance. Olaf sought to recruit Uhtred, but Uhtred was reluctant to get involved in the war. He attempted to dissuade the kings from forming an alliance by mentioning the prophecy that the 7 kings shall die. However, his warning failed to convince anyone. The kings were resolute and eventually came up with a compromise. They stated that if Uhtred could eliminate Aethelstan, they wouldn't have to wage war. In order to prevent the fires of war from ravaging Wessex, Uhtred agreed to their demand. As Uhtred was departing the camp, he unexpectedly discovered a secret. It turned out that Ingilmundr was a spy placed by Olaf close to Aethelstan. Olaf intended to incite internal strife within Wessex to reap the benefits. Shocked by this revelation, Uhtred returned to Winchester that very night. He sought out Aethelstan and pledged his loyalty. Aethelstan was overjoyed by Uhtred's submission and lifted his banishment. Afterwards, Uhtred told him the truth that he had heard in the camp.
Tried to turn me to the gods.
Oh, he would not betray me. If anything, I have betrayed him.
No.
He is a man of God, and I am a sinner!
He has convinced you of this to provoke your campaign, to unite your enemies.
No. Get out! Get from my sight, gods! Take him!
But Aethelstan dismissed his claims and had him thrown out. Just then, Uhtred encountered Finan and others. From them, he learned that Olaf had spread the news of Uhtred's banishment back to Bebbanburg, prompting Finan and the others to hurry over. Hearing this, Uhtred immediately realized that this was Olaf's strategy to lure the tiger away from the mountain. He hurried back to Bebbanburg with Finan and others. Upon his return, he discovered that Bebbanburg had already fallen. He found Ecgtheow in a secret chamber and learned that Edmund had been taken to Wirral by Aethelstan.
Where is she? Where's my wife?
Seven kings must die, Lord. 7 kings. And the woman you love.
When did she speak last?
About 3 days ago.
Get the rope up there! Come on!
Uhtred immediately headed there with his men. Meanwhile, Ingilmundr removed his disguise. He ordered all Saxon soldiers to surrender, threatening massacre otherwise. Upon learning that they had to surrender to the Vikings, the soldiers present were unwilling to take off their armor, and in the end they were all ruthlessly slaughtered. When Uhtred arrived, he found the scene in ruins.
Edmund. Husband.
By then, Aethelstan had also reached the site. Learning of Ingilmundr's betrayal, he was greatly distressed, but it was too late for regrets. Olaf's coalition had landed, and Wessex stood no chance of defeating them alone. In this critical moment, they had to rely on Uhtred. He gathered his old comrades and prepared to defend England alongside Aethelstan. On the way, Ecgtheow said that they had been pardoned so they could avoid this war. Ecgtheow always thought that Aethelstan had no chance of winning this war. After hearing her words, Edmund said that this was a sign of cowardice. He never wanted to escape from anything. Edmund knew that no matter what the result was, he could not escape danger. Ecgtheow said that when Edmund became king, he would have his own war, but Edmund didn't think so. He asked his mother where he would become king. Ecgtheow was silent. At this time, Uhtred said that he would fight alongside the shield wall. Then he asked his son Osbert if he was ready to fight. Without a doubt, Uhtred got a positive answer from the other party.
Are you ready?
I've always been ready.
Alfred's dream was of a united people. And with these men from all parts, I fought for it. What if our destiny was not to form England, but to form the English? As one force?
Who better than the half-Saxon, half-Dane to lead men from divided places?
We go!
In 937 AD, the English coalition faced Olaf's forces at the Battle of Brunanburh.
Today I stand with you as a simple soldier, but I ask that on the field, you once again let me guide you. Our position on the hill is weak, but the trees to our left give us an advantage the enemy will not see. We can defeat them if we stay united.
Uhtred understood that they were outnumbered, so he devised a strategy. He asked Edmund to distribute the bags in the back to the soldiers in the front row, and then told him to stand in the back as much as possible for a while.
Do not raise your shield until you have to. Stay at peace, stay relaxed. And do not show them where I set it.
After everything was ready, Uhtred walked among the army, conveying his orders to the troops.
When I ask you to give ground, do it. When you see the trees in front of you, it will be time. Trust me! And follow.
Meanwhile, Aethelstan appeared on the battlefield with the English soldiers. The Battle of Brunanburh was about to commence, and no one backed down. He formed a battle line using shields and employed tactics to draw the enemy in.
Thank God who I serve with pure conscience. God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind.
The war was cruel. Olaf's coalition forces continued to attack, and Uhtred ordered the soldiers to continue to retreat. Olaf looked at the English coalition forces that were constantly retreating and began to order a second attack. He commanded the coalition forces to change their formations and then attack one by one. Looking at the coalition forces that were constantly attacking the shield formation, Uhtred still ordered the soldiers to retreat. At this time, Uhtred found that Olaf's army began to attack Aethelstan. He soon realized that the other side wanted to capture Aethelstan. So he shouted to Aethelstan to keep the formation. When they retreated to the woods, Uhtred finally started to act. He asked the soldiers to give a signal. Seeing Aethelstan's troops retreat, Olaf assumed victory was assured. However, when his forces charged into the valley, the ambush was unleashed. Aethelstan spotted Ingilmundr on the battlefield, and their eyes met. Both raised their weapons and moved toward each other. Seeing Aethelstan at a disadvantage, Uhtred began to move toward him. At that moment, a spear pierced Uhtred's body. Uhtred saw Aethelstan being pinned down by Ingilmundr not far away. Though gravely wounded, Uhtred refused to fall and continued toward Aethelstan. When he saw that Aethelstan was out of danger, Uhtred could no longer support his own body. Historical records indicate that this fierce battle raged for an entire day and night, only settling in the morning. Though the English coalition was small in number, each warrior fought valiantly, managing to repel the six-nation coalition, with kings dying or fleeing in defeat. On the battlefield, Aethelstan captured the traitor Ingilmundr. This time, he acted without hesitation and killed him on the spot. Uhtred sustained severe injuries during the battle. As he lay dying, Aethelstan regretted his earlier decisions, but it was too late. Before he passed, Uhtred swore loyalty to Aethelstan. From that moment on, all of Northumbria became part of England. In his dying moments, Uhtred seemed to see Valhalla. There, he saw Vikings, Saxons, and Danes gathering together in celebration, which was the life he had always desired. In 952 AD, King Aethelstan, who had ruled England for 15 years, passed away. He is known as one of the greatest monarchs of the Middle Ages. Because of his presence, England was unified. After Aethelstan's death, Edmund ascended to the English throne. Yet, the conflicts between the Vikings and Saxons continued unabated. Uhtred's fate is poignant, marking the end of a heroic era.